Are you curious about maybe expanding your horizons? Thinking about Europe for higher studies, perhaps. Have you ever pictured yourself not just, getting a degree, but really launching a global career and doing it all while living in, well, one of the world's most innovative and welcoming countries? Well, today we're taking a really close look at a truly exciting prospect for you. Study in Sweden for Pakistani students. It's a destination that's capturing a lot of attention lately, and we're about to unpack why.
That's right. And our mission here in this deep dive is really to cut through the noise. We want to distill the most impactful knowledge from our research and just present it straight to you. We're looking at why Sweden is such a compelling option, what it genuinely takes to get there, and precisely how you can navigate that whole journey. Think of this as your shortcut, really, to being properly informed on this fantastic opportunity.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this. I'm genuinely excited, too, because what we found about Sweden, it just seems to offer this perfect blend: quality education, real affordability, and a promising future that really sets it apart, I think. So let's start with the big picture. Why Sweden? It's a question a lot of prospective students are asking, and honestly, for good reason. What we've seen is a country that consistently attracts Pakistani students, not just for its, top-tier education, but also for affordability, great career opportunities, and this unique benefit for families: the option of a spouse visa. It's kind of a whole package, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And what's fascinating is why Sweden keeps ranking so highly as a destination. It's not just like slick marketing. It seems built on this foundation of excellence and forward-thinking policies that genuinely help international students. When you look at global rankings, Sweden's position isn't an accident. It really points to a deep commitment to quality and innovation in education.
Absolutely. And speaking of excellence, let's talk universities, because we're not talking about sort of obscure places here. These are genuinely world-class names: Lund, Uppsala, Stockholm, Jönköping, Linnaeus, University West, Skövde. These aren't just names on a list. They are proper hubs of academic rigor, groundbreaking research, and really international communities. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Nordic country, language barrier.
That's a common thought.
But here's the kicker. Our research shows over 1,000 programs, bachelor's and master's, offered entirely in English. That's just incredible. It means you can dive straight into your studies without needing Swedish first. No real language barrier there.
Yeah, that sheer number of English taught programs is a massive, massive advantage. It just opens up so many academic paths right away.
Yeah.
It really says a lot about Sweden's commitment to, welcoming international talent.
And then beyond the classroom, Sweden is this global powerhouse of innovation. This is home to companies like Spotify, IKEA, Volvo, Ericsson. Imagine studying in an environment literally surrounded by the innovators behind these huge global names. That means amazing exposure to modern industries, giving you a serious edge for your future career. And here's where it gets really interesting, especially if you're thinking about finances and, well, long-term career plans.
Right, that's a crucial point. Because unlike a lot of other countries, Sweden offers incredibly flexible work options for international students. Our research really highlights this. Students can work without weekly caps during their studies. Now, this isn't just a minor perk. It feels like a policy designed to give you more financial freedom and the chance to get significant professional experience while you're still studying.
That's huge. Seriously huge. It means you can gain valuable experience, maybe integrate into the local workforce a bit, and manage your living costs much more effectively. Without those really restrictive hourly limits you find elsewhere, it gives you so much more control.
Exactly. And it doesn't stop when you graduate either. This is where Sweden really shows its long-term vision. After graduation, you can stay in Sweden for up to 12 months, specifically to look for a job.
12 months?
Yeah, 12 months. That extended post-study work period is a major, major plus if you want to kickstart an international career right there. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, like you said, Sweden isn't just offering a degree. It's actively inviting you to build a pathway to global career opportunities, and frankly, a high quality of life that goes way beyond just your time as a student, like an investment in your future, really.
That paints a very compelling picture, doesn't it? But, okay, the next logical question in anyone's mind is probably, how do I actually do this? So let's get practical. What does it actually take? What are the entry requirements to get your foot in the door?
That's the natural next hurdle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It can sometimes feel like this complicated maze. But what our deep dive into the system shows is actually a surprisingly accommodating path, especially in areas that often trip students up, like academic scores and study gaps. This approach, It really seems to reflect a core Swedish value: lifelong learning.
Okay, so let's start with bachelor's programs. If you're, say, fresh out of high school or you've done your intermediate FSC, FA, ICSI.com, whatever it is, you generally need around 55% marks, which feels like a reasonable academic level, opening the door for quite a wide range of students.
It's accessible. And here's a really generous detail that stands out. Sweden accepts a study gap of up to 4 years for bachelor's programs.
4 years.
4 years. Now, this isn't just about being flexible. It genuinely feels like it reflects that Swedish value of lifelong learning. They seem to value the practical wisdom and varied experiences people bring, understanding that maybe a career pivot enriches the classroom. This is a real game changer compared to many other places that might see a gap negatively.
That's incredibly liberating, I imagine, for many aspiring students.
Sure.
Okay, and English proficiency. For bachelor's, the IELTS requirement is an overall 6.0, with no band less than 5.5. Seems quite achievable for students who are committed. Now, for those of you thinking about master's programs, the academic requirement is a minimum 2.2 CTPA from your bachelor's degree.
Right. And here's where that lifelong learning idea gets even stronger. For master's programs, Sweden accepts an astounding study gap of up to 10 years.
10 years, wow.
10 years. Just think about that. This isn't just accommodating, it feels like an active invitation. For working professionals, for people who've gained significant life experience, maybe looking to completely change careers after a decade out there. It truly broadens the accessibility of getting a world-class master's degree.
That flexibility is just incredible. It really opens doors for people at totally different stages of life.
Okay, and IELTS for masters. You're looking at an overall 6.5 with no band less than 6.0. So what does this all mean for you, listening? Well, whether you're fresh out of intermediate or you're already a working professional planning a master's, Sweden clearly has opportunities designed for different life paths. And the entry points seem much more open and, well, understanding than maybe you'd expect. Feels quite empowering, actually.
Right. So once you've got that, that coveted acceptance letter in your hand, the next big step is naturally, how do you physically get to Sweden? Let's talk about the visa process. We know this can sometimes feel a bit daunting.
Yeah, this is definitely where careful planning becomes absolutely key. What we found is that the application process itself is pretty clear, but it absolutely requires attention to detail and, crucially, submitting things on time. You need to be prepared, but also, feel confident that the steps are laid out.
Exactly. For Pakistani students, the main thing is applying for a residence permit for studies. And crucially, you do this after you've received your official admission letter from the university. You don't do it beforehand, which sort of simplifies those first steps.
And our deep dive into the requirements shows a few key documents you'll definitely need for this permit. Things like solid proof of sufficient funds showing you can cover your living expenses, comprehensive health insurance, and proof of your accommodation in Sweden. These are pretty standard, fundamental requirements just to make sure you can comfortably support yourself while you're studying.
Right. And a word to the wise here. Don't leave it until the last minute. The guidance really suggests applying at least 3 months before your program is due to start.
Definitely. Give yourself plenty of buffer time. It just minimizes stress.
Totally. And once your residence permit is approved, you're officially set. You can live, study, and importantly, work part-time in Sweden, which opens up all those great opportunities we mentioned earlier, like financial independence and getting that valuable work experience. Okay, now, for the big question. I'm sure it's on everyone's mind. Are there scholarships? Because, let's be honest, studying internationally is a significant investment, right? Financial support can be a complete game changer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's truly inspiring here is the sheer variety and the generosity, the financial support that seems to be available. This support can significantly cut down the overall cost of your studies. Our analysis confirms Sweden offers some really excellent scholarship options, makes top quality education maybe more accessible than you'd think.
Yes. And the prime example, a real gem we found, is the Swedish Institute Scholarships. This is a fully funded program specifically for master's students. And it's not just tuition fees, it also gives you a monthly stipend for living costs and even includes a travel grant. That's a pretty comprehensive package, right? Really helps students focus on studies without that financial pressure.
Definitely. And beyond that big one, most universities themselves offer quite a bit of support.
Yeah.
We found that places like Lund, Uppsala, and Stockholm are particularly known for offering their own merit-based tuition fee waivers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so if you've got strong academics, there's a really good chance you could get a significant chunk of your tuition covered directly by the university you're applying to. which dramatically reduces your financial burden.
And it doesn't just stop with Sweden-specific options, does it?
Well, no, exactly.
There are also broader European opportunities like Erasmus Plus E, which supports exchange programs within the EU. So even more pathways for financial help and that invaluable international experience.
It really means if you're a strong student, good academics,
Yeah.
you can significantly reduce your study costs. It makes Sweden an even more compelling and, frankly, financially viable option for getting a high-quality international education. It's about being strategic, knowing where to look.
Right, strategic planning. Okay, so studying abroad isn't just about hitting the books, is it? It's about the whole experience, the culture, the people you meet, the life you actually build outside the lecture halls. So what's student life really like in Sweden? What can you expect when you step off that plane?
Yeah, if we connect this back to the bigger picture, a rich, immersive student life is absolutely key to having a successful international experience. It lets you grow personally, not just academically. And Sweden really seems to deliver on that front. It offers this unique blend of nature, innovation, and quite vibrant social scenes.
Our research paints this picture of a truly vibrant and multicultural student environment. Imagine just stepping onto campus and hearing conversations in a dozen different languages. Then maybe later that week, joining a student union event, collaborating with people from 5 different continents. You could be sharing cultural dishes, celebrating different festivals, or even just grabbing a fika, that Swedish coffee break with new friends from all over the world. That's the kind of global immersion you'll likely find, especially in cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg, Lund, and Uppsala. They're known for their lively international student communities.
And beyond just the social side, the universities in Sweden seem incredibly proactive in actually supporting their students. We found they often have really robust student unions, a huge range of sports clubs, cultural societies, all that stuff. These are essential structures, really. They act as a bridge for new students to integrate, make friends, pursue their hobbies outside of studying, helps ensure you don't feel isolated.
That's so important. Now let's touch on the practical side, which is always crucial. Cost of living. Living expenses, well, they can range between maybe 700 to 1,000 euros per month. It depends a bit on the city and your lifestyle, obviously. That covers rent, food, transport, personal stuff.
Right. But it's really important here to circle back to what we talked about earlier.
The work flexibility.
Exactly. Students can really manage these costs effectively by working part-time. Those flexible work options genuinely help offset these expenses, and they give you a much greater sense of financial independence. It turns what might seem like a high cost into something quite manageable.
Good point. And just to wrap up this picture of life beyond the classroom, Sweden consistently earns its reputation for being safe. It's seen as incredibly welcoming, and it offers an exceptionally high quality of life overall. It just sounds like a place where you can feel secure, you can actually thrive, and really focus on your studies, on your future, without constantly worrying about your surroundings. So, okay, to summarize for you, we've covered a lot today. We've really tried to peel back the layers on this incredible opportunity. Sweden seems to check all the boxes, world-class universities, remarkably flexible entry requirements that fit different life stages, really strong work opportunities both during and after studies, plus generous scholarships that can ease the financial side, and a safe, welcoming, student-friendly environment that really seems to foster growth, both personal and academic. It feels like a destination truly designed for your success.
Yeah, it really does. And this perhaps raises an important question for you to think about. Considering Sweden's deep focus on innovation, its commitment to sustainability, and how genuinely welcoming it seems to be for international talent, how might studying there not just shape your academic journey, but also uniquely prepare you to be a global contributor, a leader, even in this constantly evolving world? It's not just about getting a degree, is it? It's potentially about becoming part of something bigger, a global movement.
That's a great thought to mull over as you consider your next steps. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope this has given you a clear, compelling, and truly insightful picture of what studying in Sweden could mean for you. Until next time, take care.